Time to get our first season in the National League underway. And our first game just happens to be one of the teams who got relegated from League 2 last season. This is why we can't have nice things. Hi there, how you doing? My name is Stu and welcome to my career save here on FM24. Thank you for joining me in today's video, which is episode number 9 with our first club here in Spennymoor Town. And in today's video, we're not just playing Morecambe, we're not just playing Woking, but we're getting our first season in the National League up and running, basically. This is a level that we've not been at as a club before. As you can see, the club is relatively recent. It's a little bit earlier than that it started, but it's been National League North pretty much solidly for, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. And then we got them promoted to the National League for the first time in their history last season. So it's all about whether we can push on and do that little bit more and try and get ourselves into the Football League proper. And if you're excited to see whether we can do that, not in today's video, obviously, because, you know, we're just getting started. And don't forget to leave a big like on there for me. And don't forget to subscribe. It's completely free to do so. And you'll be able to keep up to date with all of the nonsense that comes out of this space right here. So, since your last week, nothing's happened. Genuinely, I have stopped recording and I've hit record. Nothing else to say. For the game against Morecambe, and again, it's going to be a difficult one. We've played against good teams in the National League last season in the FA Trophy. I am not expecting us to necessarily have it all our own way, but that did show us we can compete and we have upgraded the squad. For example, fullbacks on the whole much better. We are obviously missing our top left back from last season, which was Nathan McGinley. That one's a bit of a bitter pill to swallow, but Banks is better than anyone that we had. Ben Ward is a better backup than we had as well. Ben Ward is currently covering in there at the moment because Staunton is not quite the quality that we would need. Our defensive midfield options are better than they were for the second half of the season. Ollie Dyson obviously disappeared for a while. Ravenhill has come in this season along with him. And our backups are Riley and Jack Hunter, and they will fill the gaps in nicely as well. Then we've got Fletcher and Ferguson as a more than good enough attacking midfield pair. Ferguson should, in theory, be an absolute world beater at this level. He looks great. His value is sky high. I'm very happy to have him. And then the wingers, we know Richards and El Mahani can do the job. We are a bit light on that. We do still need 1 or 2 wingers in. Hopefully Amari Benjamin will be one of them, but we do need another one. And we know what Glenn Taylor is all about. What do you say we get started, shall we? We need to give a couple of players some squad numbers, so give me a moment to do that. Squad numbers complete. Let's get to the actual game, shall we? One thing I've not done is I've not updated my set piece takers. I've not updated the captaincy that much. I don't actually think I've put... I know I have actually put down the vice captain. I just can't remember who it is. I've got a feeling it's actually might be Liam Ravenhill, but I actually genuinely can't remember. So we're just going to YOLO it to begin with and we'll just see what happens. Of course, I've done my usual thing, which is I've played the final friendly and I've left it on 2D Classic because that is just what I'm all about. Right. Here we go. We are kicking off in this club's first ever season in the full National League. And I tell you what, Ravenhill looking for a good pass there. Didn't quite get away with it. We've won the ball back here. Ferguson now looking to try and get the ball going. Gets it to Ben El Mahani. Mahani trying to get the ball out wide. And Songo, who is a quality midfielder. When I was looking at the players who I wanted to try and make sure we're pressing and we're tackling hard and all that kind of stuff, he looks like a worldie, but he also looks like an old man. So we're not expecting... well, we are expecting good things from him, but we think we might be able to bully him and be a bit too quick for him. And we nearly score in the first minute. So close. We've come out of the stops here doing really well. You could argue we've had a couple of dodgy fouls in and around the area there where we could have maybe had a penalty if the referee was feeling so inclined. He doesn't. And it remains 0-0. But a great opening minute from us. We've got XG on the board. We've got shots on the board. We've got match momentum on the board. We need to be finishing now. And this is where we need to see what Taylor's made of, because Glenn Taylor was sensational last year. He's decreasing in ability, and in the nicest possible way, this level is going to be better than he is. So it's going to be interesting to see whether he can cope with it. I hope he can, because we have kind of put all of our eggs in the Glenn Taylor basket. Will Harris, God bless him, is not ready. He did hit 3 stars during pre-season, but he's gone back to 2.5 at the moment. If we do need to rely on him, we can do. But again, the consistency in the big matches are a bit of a problem for him. So we know can't rely on him too much at the moment. We are all over Morecambe at the moment, by the way. And I thought we'd scored then. We've got the new promotion bounce. They've got the relegation. I don't know what to call it. wobble. I don't know what else to call it. But yeah, we've obviously got that energy from winning the league last season and getting promoted. They've obviously got the downer from coming down in the leagues. You know, they've gone from League 2 to this level. It's not gone well for them. We're hoping, of course, we can take full advantage of that. I'm going to encourage the boys. We have been very good on top. At the moment, their goalkeeper is sort of keeping a minute, but now they have the ball, and this might be where they start to come back a little bit. Now, we have upgraded the defence, but still, it is what it is. The goalkeeper as well, he has definitely... Well, he's not necessarily better. He's about the same as what we had. But it would be interesting to see with the improvements and the quality of players whether a former goalkeeper would have actually still been a 3.5-star keeper. I thought that was going to be a goal then. It's not, but it is another corner. They are starting to get their chances now. And this is where we need to be careful. Turner Cook whips it in. Burke heads it out only so far. Stevens with the long shot. And I tell you what, we've seen those go in before. Sorry, random little frog in my throat there. I do apologise for that. Just as we get possession as well. Highlight ends anyway. Oh well, obviously wasn't that important. It's been a really good half from us. I would have liked to have seen a bit more from us in terms of chances on target. I would have liked to see a bit more from us in terms of goals. Taylor looking a little bit goal shy. The midfielders not necessarily getting stuck in the way I want them to. We need to work out exactly how to get Ravenhill and Dyson playing well together because they've not had a good start. Maybe we switch them round. The problem is Ravenhill isn't really a good tackler of the ball, but he prefers to be a ball-winning midfielder. And we were getting our best football from Dyson. I'll tell you what, where this frog in my throat's come from, I do not know. Dyson was doing better as the defensive midfielder, so what I'm going to do in the second half is switch them over. You can see Ravenhill immediately gets better. Dyson decreases, but we also know who we got some good football from him last year. So I'm going to do that as a bit of tactical fiddling. I'm going to leave Carlos Richards on for the moment. Carlos Richards last season mostly played on this side because we obviously had Lennon. So I am going to move them around, and I'll just see whether Ben El Mahani can get anything going from the right-hand side. He does prefer to play on the left, but he can do a job on the right. So we'll just see whether it works. A couple of switcheroos in where people are playing. We'll just tell a couple of people as well that they need to do a little bit better too, including the central midfielders. And we'll just try and G them up. The defence actually I don't think have done too badly, but we'll have a word with them as well. And we'll just see whether that is going to be enough to do it. Sorry, why my throat decided he wanted to give out then, I don't know. But here we go. Into the second half, let's see whether we can start as we started the first, and let's see whether we can force a goal through. Because of the fact that they got relegated last season, and because we got promoted, and because obviously we've got conceded, and it's Songo. His first goal for 40. Right. Show me the definition of being FMs. We've dominated them in the first half, and the person who scores is a 33-year-old defensive midfielder who hasn't scored for 49 matches. I have no words for this game sometimes. I really don't. Goodness me. Right, I'm going to demand more from the boys. We are predicted to lose this game, so if we do lose it, it's not the end of the world. But the way that we've played, I will be very disappointed if we do. It is making me reassess the striker situation, and I am starting to think, do we need to find one? We haven't got much time. We haven't got much money. I mean, we're getting Amari Benjamin. Amari Benjamin could be the answer. I just know that his finishing isn't very good, and that just worries me. We're giving the ball away there. Emergency left back. Ward has gone and made an absolute clanger there, and it's 2. Oh, disappointing. That's so disappointing. It's away from home. It's a huge mistake from Ward. He's not a left back. He can play there, but he's not a left back. It's a huge error. The defenders get all over each other. And now we're in a really sticky situation. I mean, immediately we're changing him. Carlos Richards has had a shocker. I can't change him. He's got to stay on the pitch. Dyson's really not played well. Neither of the midfielders have done. So I'm going to bring on Regan Riley, and hopefully he can do something. We'll swap him and Ravenhill back rounds. We still only have 3 substitutions. I don't want to make all 3 of them now, but I want to bring on Will Harris. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. We're going to play him as a pressing forward. It feels like I don't even know. It feels like an extreme reaction, but we're 2-0 down and we've been the better team. We need to do something. We need to do something dramatically. Let's see whether that will do anything. Right, Banks gets the ball. I thought the referee had given a penalty then. Right, Ferguson, we need to see something from him. Ben Almani, Right, can he get the ball to someone? He's running forward here. He has got Will Harris in the box. Why would you shoot from there? Why would you shoot from there? He squares it to Harris. It's probably 2-1. Right, Harris on the edge. Right, Will Harris has got one back. Regan Riley has his first assist for the club from midfield. We're back in it. Right, fire the boys up. Let's go and get another one. Nicely worked free kick routine. Harris not necessarily known for his long shots, but he's rifled it in the bottom corner there. That could be a contender for goal of the season, actually. It's low, it's quick, it's really hard. Nice stuff. Right, come on, boys. Final 10 minutes. Let's go. We've been all over them. If we lose this game, it's not the end of the world because we know we can compete, but come on. Let's just try and get one more chance before the time runs out. And try and put the ball in the back of the net. Richards has had a terrible game, by the way. Yeah, we're not going to do it. Right, well, we were expected to lose. We have lost, but I tell you what, we gave it a good go. I'm going to be a little bit kinder to the players. I'm usually quite harsh on my players if anything like that happens, but I'm going to be a little bit kinder to them. We're expected to be mid-table. We're going to lose games more this season than we did last year. I just think it's disappointing the way that that match kind of panned out. And the mistake from Ben Ward, it's not great, really. And Dan Langley didn't have a great debut in goal either. So I'm a little bit disappointed with all of them. The substitutes did well there. Staunton did well, Riley did well, Harris did well. I'm actually going to start Harris in the next game. I'm going to start him in the next game and see what happens. Ferguson didn't do too badly. Carlos Richards had the worst game I think I've ever seen him have. We will start with them swapped over in the next game just so we can start there. But we can't get Amari Benjamin in quickly enough to give us another option. And then we still need to find someone else. Just to confirm, money-wise, we've got £2,000 left. We're spending 1.1 on these three here. Obviously, we're hoping these two are good. Oh, Mavididi. We don't need another winger if Mavididi's any good. But he could also back up as a striker potentially as well. So we'll see what happens. Right, we're going to lick our wounds. But again, that's a game we were kind of half expected to lose anyway. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to go away. I'm not going to overreact to it. I'm going to come back in 3 days for Woking, which is a game we absolutely should be winning. Back for the game against Woking, and, well, yeah, it's been a mixed result of transfer dealings. So the good news is, number one, we have got Amari Benjamin, who is going to be going on to the bench for this game. So let's get that sorted now. We'll take Ben Bills off and put Ledger on there. So Amari Benjamin is in. He will be on the bench for us today. And then the other business is that the left-back pulled out of the deal, and so did Mavididi. So we are looking at other options. I have got a really good left-back who overpriced himself when we first brought him in on trial, but now no one's come in for him. He's actually had a lower starting offer, and we managed to negotiate it down. So if no one else comes in for him, onto a winner there. And I put a couple of other offers in for some wide players as well. But this is the 11 that we're going to be using for the second game of the season against Woking. First home game of the save in National League. I don't know why I said it like that. First home game of the season would have sufficed. But anyway, it is Langley in goal, Banks, Burke, Ward and Staunton in defence, Ravenhill and Riley in the middle, with Ben Almani, Ferguson and Richards, with Harris up front. Again, tripping over my words there. I'm going to cough again. But that is the 11. We're going with Ward in defence just to give him a chance. Same with Riley. Riley came on, did a good job. Staunton did well as well, as did Harris. So we're going to give all of them a chance and just see what we can do. We do need to give a squad number to Amari Benjamin. We will give him lucky number 13, because why the devil not? Right. Who knows? Who knows how this is going to go? That first game is frustrating purely because we know we were the better team. And the only thing that kind of scuppered us was our finishing, which does worry me a little bit about Taylor, but it is what it is. Maybe we switch him to a target forward and we just go for whipping the ball in. We've actually changed Harris, funnily enough, to a pressing forward just to try and get a little bit more out of him. Worked in the last game, although it was a good long-range effort, so we'll see what happens. But let's see whether we can get our first 3 points of the season. Let's go. See whether we can do it. Woking apparently starting off with the match momentum to begin with, but we then seem to snap back to getting in charge. Ravenhill will be captain today. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but he is the person who has the armband. Banks now coming forward. Gets it to Ben Almani. Into Ferguson. Banks looking for options. Gets it back to Ferguson. Ferguson waits. Doesn't go bursting forward and loses the ball. Banks whips it in, looking for Harris. Can't quite find him. It's a nice idea. And Harris is a good target man, but obviously wasn't good enough there in that moment. And now here come Woking, who again finished quite low down in this league last season. So you would have thought we'd have a chance against them. Right, Ferguson, lovely pass out to Ben Almani. Marnie, whose name keeps changing from Marnie to Mahani. The more and more I say it, and there is a great opportunity, but Will Harris just a bit too far back to take advantage of it, and maybe the cross should have come into his feet. But we have started well. Ben Almani has actually started really well as well, which is nice to see. But I do want to see us get a relatively early goal here just to settle the nerves a little bit. I am going to encourage the boys. We've had a really, really good start in our first home game of the season, but we need a little bit more. Right, Ferguson gets it to Banks. Into Ferguson. Lovely work here. And Ferguson could be on for his first goal of the season. He doesn't get it, but he does win a very, very, very well-worked corner. Now, can we actually make something of that corner? Let's see. Ferguson's going to be taking it. He doesn't go with the short option. Wardy's there. Can't quite get on the end of it. Harris is in a foot race. He is going to win that. And he will have the chance to recycle possession. And we'll try and go again. Whips it in. Looking for the header. Ferguson here. Doesn't find him, though, because, well, really, it should have been Ferguson crossing to Harris. But who am I to judge? Still 0-0. A draw would be fine to get us back on our feet. Morecambe winning 2-0 against Ebbsfleet, by the way. So it wasn't just us. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like we do need to win this one, especially with how we've been all over them in this first half. But we said that last time. Goals could be the problem. Right, Ben Almani breaks free. He's got to have a great chance here. And Yassine Ben Almani scores his first of the season. It's our first home goal in National League. And we lead for the first time in a National League game by a goal to 0. Get in there, boys. And Ben Almani is someone who we know is a good player. He just doesn't show it all the time. We've moved him to the right, and I just wonder whether maybe that's unlocked him a little bit. Again, Richards mostly played on the left last season. Did play on the right a few times as well, but mostly played on the left. We're struggling to get something out of him, but it's good to see on the right-hand side the kind of beginnings of a new partnership between Banks and Ben Almani. Of course, Amari Benjamin coming in could completely scupper that. He is on the bench today. He will get some football. If we don't have if anything doesn't get in the way of it, he will be playing some football with us today. Lovely interception from Ferguson there. Really, really well done. Ferguson's all over the pitch. He's not got a good rating. He's only on a 6.7, but he's been all over. Oh, it's so annoying that pass was intercepted. But Banks managed to get on the rebound. Ben Almani running in behind here, looking for Harris, who tries to float it to the back post, doesn't quite get there. It's still with us. Somehow it's not 2-0. Great opportunities. We're just snatching our chances a little bit there. And somehow that doesn't go out for a goal kick, and the ball is still in play, but the highlight does end. We've battered them in this first half. We should be more than one goal up. We're not. That's the only thing that's frustrating me at the moment, is the fact that we're not seeming to be able to put the ball in the back of the net. Now, I am thinking, with the way that we're playing, this game is perfectly set up for Glenn Taylor. That is what I'm thinking. And we're getting Glenn Taylor on the pitch. That feels like the best thing to do. Right. That's the only thing I'm going to do. The only change I'm going to make. Let's go. Will Harris is off. Glenn Taylor is on. The way that we're playing today, we're whipping balls in. Let's take advantage of it, shall we? Right. Ward out to Staunton. Staunton coming inside here. He's going to look and wait for the cross. It's along the ground here. All of our crossings in the first half, all of them are in the air. That one, of course, is across the ground as soon as we bring on our aerial threat. Isn't that just the way? Oh, Liam Ravenhill, stop it. Absolutely stop it. Gotta be honest, that first game worried me a little bit. It didn't look very good. But that is some goal. And it's his central midfield partner for the day, Riley. Dyson is the person I want to be in that position. But again, not a very good performance in the last game. We decided to go with Riley today after his cameo. And, well, Riley looks like he could be a big special. If only he liked big games. Free kick here from Riley, funny enough. Looking for the header. Banks doesn't find him. But we are going to get possession back here with Burke. Burke now. Out to Ben Almani. Almani, who was the architect of the early goal. Well, no, he just wasn't the architect. He just scored it. It's a scuffed shot from Ferguson. Ferguson's done everything right other than the final pass or the final shot. He's been desperately unlucky today. Right, to throw in for Woking. This is where we're going to need to start being a bit careful. Because, again, they are a National League side. We know they're dangerous, so we need to be careful because at any moment they could decide they want to be a good football team. We just need to be a bit careful of that. I don't actually know how Woking did in their first game. They must have lost it, I think. No, they're on a point, so they must have drawn it. So they didn't have a great start either. It was certainly a better start than ours. Right, I'm going to take Richards off for Amari Benjamin. Alex Ferguson, I think, is going to stay on. I'm certainly not going to make another change just yet, but we'll go with that for now. Give Amari Benjamin a chance. I don't quite know what position I want him to play. I mean, inside forward probably is the one. Yeah, do you know what? We'll pop him on inside forward and see how he does. Right, Langley does well to come and claim that ball, which is good to see. Ward, I'm going to have a little bit of a telling off to. Tell him to calm down. And we'll tell him to go off his tackles. I'm just going to fire up Alex Ferguson. I love the fact we've got a player called Alex Ferguson. I mean, if he ends up being a bit of a legend for us, I will call him Sir Alex Ferguson just for the fun of it. Right, Benjamin on the ball here. First time we're seeing him whipping it in. Looking for Taylor. And I tell you what, Amari Benjamin just got the best out of Glenn Taylor and it's been disallowed. Oh, that's so annoying. That's so annoying. Glenn Taylor looking like the Glenn Taylor of last season. And a great first little impact from Amari Benjamin, but it is not to be. Right, final change. The game's still running in the background, by the way. I'm actually going to bring Isaac Fletcher on because, you know, he was a bit of a superstar last season. I've given him no love at all so far. Let's bring him on for the final 10 minutes. And let's... I mean, I feel so bad for Ferguson because to my eye, he's looked really good. He's been running with intent. His passing has been good for the most part. I don't really get it. But it doesn't really matter. The main thing is we get the 3 points. And that is going to be the 3 points. Lost the game we were expected to lose, but we won the one at home against the team who've been in the National League for a while. That, to me, is not a bad start. It could have been better with the win in the first game. We got desperately unlucky with that one, but that is a very, very good first home victory. Denton is one of the players we brought in on loan to have a look at. These are players who are going to be leaving us. There we go. We've got Benjamin making his debut. Almani got a 9.1 in the end. He was very good for us, to be fair. Very good indeed. I'll take that all day long. We're predicted to finish mid-table. Where are we after 2 games? Mid-table. And Morecambe a third. So I'm not too bothered about losing against Morecambe. I think when we face them at a home game, I think we could turn that around. So I might keep an eye out for that one and try and put that on camera so we can try and get a bit of revenge. But that is going to do it for today's video. Now, we are going to come back, probably do similar to what we did last time. We'll come back in the month of October around here. I don't know exactly when. I don't think we've got any kind of derbies or anything like that in this league as far as I'm aware. South Shields, Blythe, they're the only other kind of teams that we'd be that bothered with. But I don't know. South Shields won't be in here. Blythe I don't think are either. So we'll just look at the biggest games that we can. I mean, we know that we had a good time against Solihull Moors. That was a bit dramatic. So maybe we'll come back for them in Aldershot. Maybe we come back for the FA Cup qualifier. That could be fun as well. I'll have a think about it. We'll see when we'll come back. And hopefully... I mean, it's weird to call a loss and a win a good start, but it's certainly not a bad start. So hopefully we can maintain the second part of today's video. And we can try and get a lot more points on the board. So we can try and start to build ourselves from being a newly promoted team. So hopefully... Might be a bit early to say this. Promotion playoff contenders, because I think our team is going to be good enough for that. It's just if they all bed in quickly enough. I could also be talking out my backside, so we'll just see what happens. Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, do not forget to leave a big like on there for me, and don't forget to subscribe as well. It is completely free to do so, and you will make me a very happy chap. I've been Stu, you guys have been awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.